Today is day 9 of our 21 days of prayer. What comes to your mind when you hear the word meditate? Maybe you think of a monk or someone practicing some sort of Eastern religion. Eastern meditation is about emptying your mind. Christian meditation is about filling your mind with God's truth, or to fix our minds on God. In the Psalms, David talks a lot about meditating on God's words. In Psalm 119, he writes, "I meditate on your precepts and consider your ways. I delight in your decrees. I will not neglect your word." And then in Psalm 119, he says, "Oh, how I love your law. I meditate on it all day long." When David says, "I love your law," he's talking about God's word. And again in Psalm 143, he says, "I meditate on all your works and consider what your hands have done." Why is this a big deal? Because your life is always moving in the direction of your strongest thoughts. If a thought comes into your mind, it will come out of your life. You cannot have a positive life when you have a negative mind. Meditating on God's truth and God's promises will shape your thinking and renew your mind. What David knew is that if you cannot control what you think, then you will never, ever control what you do. So we don't just read God's word, we meditate on God's word. If you don't have a Bible reading plan, today would be a great day to start one. I use the YouVersion app, which has hundreds of Bible reading plans. Or just start reading one chapter of the Bible each day. Perhaps just start with the New Testament and let God speak into your life. I always pray a simple prayer as I read my Bible. I just pray this: God, speak to me today. Just speak to me today. Take a verse or a thought and meditate on it. Consider what God may be speaking to you. Today, would you pray for all of our volunteers and our leaders at the Crossing? Would you pray for their spiritual protection and that God would speak to them through His Word? I love you. I'm praying for you, and we will see you back here tomorrow.